Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Europa Universalis IV with me, Alpha Omega, Meiou Taxes 3.0 and Novgorod. So we are becoming a real beast as far as size goes. It's not that good as far as economy goes or as far as military power goes, but we are becoming stronger by the day. In the last episode, the Republic has claimed a huge chunk of the Golden Horse territory, who invaded us with the probable intent of pillaging and stealing our women. Instead, we pillaged them and stole their women. Most importantly, I'm really happy about the city of Kazan, which has a Sunni religion and a Kazani culture, but I don't think that's going to be much of a problem. We're actually going to convert these once we finish coring them. I believe that we are coring everyone already. And we are also expanding eastwards into the Arctic tundra. So things are progressing fairly nicely for us. What is not progressing fairly nicely is the situation with our elites. Because I believe that the stability is still dropping. No, actually it's increasing. And wow, Noble's power has dropped to 60%. That's interesting. Courage is at 29, Burgers at 39. So it might be a good idea to yield some concessions. Well, actually, let's not do that right now. I'd like to increase our centralization at least a bit. It's not increasing by much, but it is increasing nonetheless. So I'd like to continue doing that. I'd like to increase our stability. So we're probably going to have a grand celebration very soon. But unless Lithuania invades us, and they can now, the treaty is, long done. I would appreciate it if we could have some time to rest, lower the autonomy, actually see how these provinces are going to behave. You remember that Yaroslavl is constructing a harbor bridge, so that is going to make a difference. And Volkov already improved the pathing? No. Who was that? Was that you? No, somebody was upgrading the pathing. There's a garrison here. I don't know. I thought that somebody was improving the pathing. Maybe I was wrong. Anyway, Zaporozhye's autonomy is continuously dropping. We spoke about it last time. Okay, so maybe it was me saying that we need to improve Volkov's pathing. I'm not sure. But if we can get Zaporozhye to a decent amount, then it means that all of these provinces that are currently having absolute autonomy on our rule from Veliki Novgorod will start to actually become part of our territory. Wow, these horses look like bugs on my screen. So, what I'm interested in seeing these guys after they get connected. You see that? That's so freaking weird. And I'm also interested in seeing how these things will behave. We really need to lower the autonomy. We just keep adding more provinces without integrating the previous ones, so it would be good to have some time to rest. How is Smolensk doing? Okay, it's gonna stop somewhere at around 80. Because, that's the problem with the pathing that we spoke about. Though, wow, Zev has 1. You have 2. That shouldn't be such a big problem. Maybe we ought to improve it here. How much would that be? Not that I have the money, but improve infrastructure, pathing by rank 1. 146. Okay, that's not bad and could be done. Anyway, we have a lot of rebel factions, as you can see here. They're mostly coming because we have massive unrest. So we might even face some real rebellions. But we'll see, the Republic is strong. I don't think we have much to worry about. We just need a bit of rest to increase our stability, to deal with the, new provinces, to formally get rid of the Sunni religion, and maybe to even finish some of the forts that I have been speaking that much about. Well, years pass on by, and Novgorod is staying safe. I didn't have anyone mess up with us at all. Nor Sweden, nor Lithuania, nor Golden Horde, nor anyone else has sent us anything that would even remotely tell us that they plan an attack. Sweden did attack Norway though, but not us. Not us. The development of our nation is slowly improving. You can see at the burden of taxation that we are oscillating still up and down, but the only one that's really costing us much now is the administrative power. And you know, it just keeps going up and down. I'm going to slow it down and show you a couple of things that are quite important. There's many things being built currently. In Vologda, they are building irrigation. In Yaroslavy, they are building harborage. And Zaožerie is building irrigation. While Zavoloshe, when you check it, is building amenities. So they are preparing to grow the city up. There were other constructions here and there, but they mostly resemble or they mirror the effect that we are having on the entirety of our territory. Autonomy is slowly dropping everywhere with the exception of the far off provinces. And I'm kind of happy with that. Smolensk is now sub 90 and dropping. Vyazma is now closing to 90. Karachev is the only one. It's too far. It's just too far. There's nothing. There's no river or anything that we could do. But, you know, other than that, things are looking fairly good. We are prospering. I managed to get back to zero stability pretty rapidly. There was really not a big issue there. And it's moving up pretty decently even now. The nobles are still hovering around 60. Influence, Scourge is at 28 with 86. Burghers are 39 with 87. You know, generally speaking, it's really, really nice. Much nicer than it was a couple of decades ago. Further news, Murom is now our vassal. And I'm doing the same with Pskov. I found out that they would accept it. So we are now improving the relations there. I think we'll be able to get them very soon. We'll get that to 177. Oh, another expedition. I guess Northwest Africa. We can transfer trade power. We can offer them military access. Stuff can be done, but eventually I'll have to send them a gift, which I had to do with Murom as well to make them actually accept our offer at vassalization. But this is a much more suitable way how to annex people, I think. So Murom will be eventually annexed, as you might expect. There's a lot of extra things now as far as the annexation goes. There's the timer of 10 years that we know. There's an integration process of their development, so you can now see it based on development and not on percentage. So we will integrate them in 23.66 years. I guess they can postpone it by developing themselves. Interesting. The integration speed is based on development per year. Base integration modifiers government differences. Okay, so because we are a republic and they're a principality, we're getting a penalty. Integration rate modifier 117%. Liberation desire opinion of overlord. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Diplomatic annexation cost and cultural differences. So if we keep their opinion high, we will be doing good. Okay, that makes sense, at least to me. So Pskov will now get to a maximum, so we can then, I guess the transfer trade power could be what we need. They should give us a massive amount now. Oh, and hey, we get more merchants. Okay, where are we going to put you folks? I'm running out of ideas. Okay, well, we're done here. I don't think Hansa will, yeah, we can't even do that. Collect. I'd like to transfer if I can. Yep, we can do that here, and we can do that here. Okay. So let's continue. We can take a new technology which is called heavy ship guns, 305 diplomatic power. Although cannons had been used on ships as early as the 100 Years' War, they saw limited use due to their heavy size. Prince John II of Portugal had his ships outfitted with a reinforced gun deck that could hold the heavy guns, allowing him to bring more guns with him on board ship. So we can now steal maps, naval morale plus 0.25. Okay, that's good. As I said, Sweden has fought Norway and they actually got quite a lot of their territory, but they themselves, well actually they didn't. When we look at that, they stole some territory from Denmark. What's your relations with Wolfgast? Very bad. Okay, so there's probably going to be a Wolfgastian Swedish war very soon. Let's recall the diplomat from Pskov and check if we can make them love us. We need a bit more. Okay, yes, that put us at 190, so now we should be able to vassalize them. Come on. Come on. Which is good, you know, I like that. As far as the cores go, we are at 41%, so that's going to take a bit more time. But the colonies are doing fine. You have to admit that this is a decent growth, and I don't think we're in much of a hurry. We actually got all of Europe. This is Ural, and that's usually taken as a difference between, or the splitting line between the European and Asian part of Russia. Okay, here's the vassalization of Pskov happening in real time. So we now have two vassals, Pskov and Murom. I wish we could do the same with Tarusa, for example, but I don't think... Oh, we could. Okay, let's offer them alliance, and we'll vassalize them as well. Okay, we won't be able to do that with Nizhny Novgorod, however, because they want Nizhny Novgorod back, and I'm not gonna give them such a big city. We have an extra diplomatic relation now, though. That's important. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to do the same process with Tarusa, with the goal, of course, of annexing the Pskovian land with Tarusan land and Murom land via diplomacy and, you know, getting them into the Republic peacefully. We have 4 relations, the 4th one being Nizhny Novgorod. I'm really tempted in... I wish I could force them to give up their claim. They will lose that in about 45 years. So then maybe we can make them, I don't know. It sucks. It sucks, but what can you do? So okay, that's the plan with Tarusa. As I said, Europe and everything is kind of fine. There's not much happening. I was considering, though, doing the celebration for the nobles. That would be kind of cool. It's expensive, though. It's expensive, but it will boost our stability too. And I was also considering sending a ship on a voyage to Africa, because these expeditions that we have don't seem to make much for us. So it might be a good idea to test it on a grander scale, see if we can do something more. Yeah, but these are not worth it, and building an extra ship, remember, is extremely expensive now, so I'm not entirely sure if I want to go through the hassle. I mean, we have the colonists busy. There's not much what we can do. Oh hey, here's Severny Ural. And there's Burghood. I wonder if we're going to make it all the way to Sakhalin and the provinces around it. We could maybe even contact Japan soon. Who knows? Sky is the limit. Well, I have successfully vassalized Tarusa as well. So we now have 3 vassals surrounding us, and I decided that once we're done with them, we are going to attack and forcefully annex Nizhny Novgorod, which could be seen as a, we couldn't, for this whole time we are negotiating with them, and afterwards we are just going to annex them because they will refuse to talk with us. Anyway, we can now take the police brotherhoods. In order to enforce laws throughout the land, many states established holy brotherhoods of officers that had jurisdictions across the entire country, organized from one central location. These would eventually grow into a national police force. So yearly corruption is lowered and max centralization is increased by 5? That doesn't seem right. Oh, okay, it's still 50. But I think we can now hold the celebration. Yes, just barely, but we could. Which gives us a bit of, better relations with the nobles. It should help with the stability too. Yes, we are at +1 almost certainly in the very few next years. And the rebels that we have are giving me a bit of unrest in my mind, because especially the Kazani separatists will probably rise. There's 10,000 of them, they're organizing, and they do have a massive backing. So yeah, there's not going to be much I can do with that other than fight them. We won't be able to core this territory in time. So I guess I'm just gonna raise these forts and send my army to Kazan to drill. Or actually to Lugovaya Cheremisi, because that one will be accessible to all the other ones. If they... We don't have a garrison here, but... I don't know, man. I don't think it's a good idea to put our forces there, because they could get stack wiped. Actually not, we're just gonna... They will raise against us, so let's just do it, and do it properly. It sounds like a good idea. Okay, well, Lithuania has issued an embargo on me some time ago, so I just did the same to them. Not entirely sure how that's gonna affect me or them, but it's hurting both of us. Yay! That's definitely a good thing to note. A massive construction has started recently. Belzaro is working on irrigation, same here. Gaish is improving amenities. Okay, so they plan to have more people in their city. And you guys are building harborage in Yaroslavl. Okay, so that's gonna further lower the autonomy across this river. That's really good. I'm happy about that. Zavolosha is now at 93.6 and continues to drop. This is good news. Not entirely sure how we should move on forward though. It's probably the best idea to improve the roads in Volkov. But we'll see, it's very expensive to do anything here. All the provinces here are now nearly at 100% autonomy, but that's mostly because they don't have a core. So once we're done with the coring there, it will be much, much easier. The situation down here is slightly better. Autonomy of Smolensk 87, Vyazma 88. Karachev unfortunately is still at 100%, but it's a small province, it's not a biggie. Nevel is doing good though. I'm thinking that we wanted to build that harborage there, which wouldn't be an issue because we got a modern castle there, so it would make sense to have a connection to our capital, and that should boost the control over the adjacent territories. Now that might just come via Rzev, where we wanted to improve the pathing as well, so yeah, it's just the same faults over and over. The autonomy here at Davisami and Osterbotten is racing towards 100, understandably, so that's not a big surprise. And here in the east we're gonna have 100 as well. But centralization is increasing. As you can see here, we're at 21 now, which is good. Oh, wait, it did increase to 55. Okay then, well, and it's gonna start increasing faster once we get the stability up. I'd really like to turn the power of the nobles one more time down, but it would be an issue. We would need to yield concessions of ancient liberties. That would put them to 69. Nah, let's wait with that. 61 is okay. If I want to dick with anyone, it would be the burghers. Promote and support commerce. Okay. Speaking of that, we might... Actually, we didn't do this in a while, have we? Because that's all so expensive. It's all going to make them super hard to deal with. Yeah. Restricting stuff like this would be great, but minus 40 relations. I don't think we can do that right now. First we need to lower their power. Speaking of which, that was what I wanted to do with the burghers. Let's leverage them, renegotiate the urban charters, which will take away a bit of stability and a progress towards stability. Now let's do that later on, when we get deep within +1, and like that. The rebels are ready to spawn at any moment, so let's wait for them together, defeat them, and then I'm gonna end this episode. It's been a peaceful couple of years. I really, enjoy it, just seeing how the scripts build up your country in the background and how the provinces prosper more and more, because when you look at the overall development, you can see Veliki Novgorod on the map very clearly. Same with Nizhny Novgorod. I believe that they might be quite the most developed province at all. Prague has 34. What's France with Paris doing? Paris has 40. How are the Ottomans doing? Constantinople has 26. Well, is it still Constantinople, or they will name it Constantinople? Yeah, but Veliki Novgorod's got 37. So it's really is like one of the biggest cities in the world. Well, of course, there's Alkahira. Well, I'm not gonna even speak about that. That's just nonsensical. But yeah, we are doing great. It's really is becoming the jewel of the north. It really is. So that makes me happy. And where are you rebels? Spawn already. We're gonna have Mishar separatists as well. Gorne, Cheremisi. That's still Govai. Okay. So Kazan will spawn rebels here and Mishar will spawn here. But if we defeat them both, we should be fine. I don't think that the Tverian separatists, Smolenskin separatists, or Polotskian separatists really pose any kind of threat. But yeah, the hot-headed little horse nations will pose a threat. And we can't really annex anyone else, can we? Didn't think so. But once we're done with Nizhny Novgorod, we might... There are nations that would kill for an alliance with us. Like Circassia, for example, which is... oh, here they come. Which is a one-province minor here. And we would probably be the only thing keeping it alive if we ever signed up for the job. So where are you? Oh, actually in Kazan. So Vasily Kuryatev, our general, has improved his fire and I think his maneuver as well, so we should be fairly easily able to defeat them. Yeah. We'll lose a bit of manpower here, but it's not an issue. It's not an issue. Okay, we stack wiped them and won. awesome. So I'll see you in the next episode with more Novgorod.